Alright, welcome everyone to the channel's first YouTube video. It's going to be the Throne of Eldraine set review. And we're starting off with white, obviously, first color on the page. So we'll be going in order. And let's get everyone in and ready here. So we'll see how this goes. And we'll start off with Acclaimed Contender. 3 mana, 2 and a white, Human Knight. 3/3. When Acclaimed Contender enters the battlefield, if you control another knight, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a knight, aura, equipment, or legendary artifact card from among them and put them into your hand. Rest on the bottom in any order. That seems fairly good to me. I don't know, because I don't play a lot of aggro, but this seems fairly reasonable. It's a 3 mana 3/3, which is fairly good. And it's got an insanely good ability here on an ETB trigger. So I like this card. If I were to grade this card in terms of just limited playability or like an A through D rating, I'd probably give this somewhere probably in the B to C range. I don't think it's going to make anything outside of Knights, obviously, that good. It could be a splash for some of these other things, but I really just think it's going to be a solo Knight card here. And then, so probably just an average rare here. I don't see anything too crazy going on with this, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, All That Glitters. 1 and a white for an enchantment. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact or enchantment you control. Love the artwork on this. This is kind of cool. In terms of the card, I don't know the playability of this card. I don't know that you're going to have a ton of stuff in standard that's going to really abuse and use this card. Excuse me. I really just don't see it doing all that much outside of limited, but we'll see how it goes. I don't think outside of limited this card is going to see much play, so I would just give that a limited rating on that card. Archon of Absolution. 3 and a white, 3/2, flying pro white. Interesting. Creatures can't attack you or a planeswalker you control unless their controller pays 1 for each of those creatures. Again, a really strong limited card, I feel like. In terms of standard playability, I don't see a lot of this really mattering. Its cost is too high and low statted to be part of the blue-white Flyers deck. And it just dies to shock. It dies to pretty much anything that'll poke it. So I don't see this being good enough to be standard playable, but limited, definitely. Very strong and limited. Alright. Arden Vale Paladin. 3 and a white for a 2/5 Human Knight. With Adamant. If at least 3 white mana was spent to cast this spell, enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it. Makes it a 3/6, and again, you'd have to spend 3 white to get that counter. Even in terms of a red deck blocker, it's too late into, the Calamity deck, so you're just going to die before this triggers. So I really don't see this being playable. Limited, obviously, has, potential to just kind of stall out a game until you can build up more knights. But outside of limited, there's nothing really to talk about with this card. Alright, we got our first look at Adventure here, the new key effect coming in this set. Let's talk a little bit about that with Arden Vale Tactician. Another Human Knight, 1 and 2 white for a 2/3 flyer. Before that, we can play the adventure cost on these cards and then exile them and recast them after that for the other side of the card, essentially. And with that, we get Dizzying Swoop. 1 and a white instant. Tap up to 2 target creatures. So you can tap down 2 things at instant speed. Play this on the following turn. I don't really know how good that is in limited. I think this is great, especially the dizzying swoop. I think that's going to do a lot of work in limited. Three mana for a 2/3 flyer in limited could be good. We'll have to see what else is out there, but in limited it could be very strong, and we'll have to see how it pans out. But in terms of standard playability, I don't like this card. I don't think you're going to be able to do enough with it for it to matter. So, Bartered Cow, 3 and a white for a 3/3 Ox. When bartered cow dies, or when you discard it, create a food token. Food tokens, obviously another thing new with this set. It's an artifact that you can pay 2, sacrifice it, gain 3 life. So an interesting new mechanic with the food tokens here. Should be interesting to play with. I don't know that a 4 mana 3/3 that gets you a food token is going to be worth it in standard for anything you're doing. Just feels underwhelming there. In limited, it just kind of mucks up the ground as a 4 mana 3/3. Even when it dies or discarded food token, not really that relevant. So it is what it is. But this is limited only, and even then, I don't think it has a lot of potential for anything. All right, Beloved Princess, 1 white for a 1/1. Does have lifelink. It's a human noble. Beloved Princess can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. Interesting. So, okay. It's an interesting early human card. I still don't think it's going to be worth it to play, but with losing a couple of the 1 mana white drops out of standard, this could be a decent replacement, but I don't think it's good enough to really worry about. I don't see this mattering a whole lot. Alright, we do have Charming Prince, 1 and a white for a 2/2 human noble, and it is a rare, so let's get our first look here. Charming Prince enters the battlefield, choose 1, scry 2, gain 3, exile another target creature you own, return it to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next end step. Interesting blink effect. It's interesting for a mono white aggro deck. I don't know how relevant that's going to be. But if we get some other nice enter the battlefield triggers, I mean, it could matter here. The Scry 2 is nice if you have nothing else to do. Gaining 3 life. I mean, okay, you can pretty much negate a burn spell there. But, I don't know. This seems okay. I would give it probably a C or a D in terms of a rating. I don't want to go full limited because it obviously has some kind of potential somewhere. But we don't know yet. We're only a few cards in. So I would say it's pretty subpar. It's going to be a narrow niche card. It's not going to be in every deck. It's not format breaking, obviously. So, yeah, we'll just leave it there and see what else we find. The Circle of Loyalty, our first mythic, and it is a 6 mana legendary artifact. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each knight you control. Okay. Creatures you control get +1/+1, so a nice lord effect there. Whenever you cast a legendary spell, create a 2/2 white knight creature with vigilance. Okay. Alright. And then it also has 4 mana, create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance. This is interesting. This is not bad at all. I do like this card. I think it has some potential. I think we all know knights are going to be annoyingly good. I would put this at a B or a C right now. High C, mid to low B. I really feel like this is going to be a strong card to play with, especially if you can't slow down their board. If you're just going creature for creature, in terms of deck matchup, this card's going to win out just because it's going to go so wide you won't be able to stop this. But yeah, I really like this card. So 6 mana reduced by 1 for each knight. You figure with all the knights that you have available, especially if you go black white. I mean, you have a lot of knights early. There's a 2 mana knight, 1 mana knight, 2 mana knight that's just in white. I really like this card. This card could be out on turn 4-ish pretty easy. Very easy. Okay, let's move on. Deafening Silence. 1 mana enchantment. Each player can't cast more than 1 non-creature spell each turn. I think this is going to be a great sideboard card, obviously. You're playing a heavy creature deck. You're playing against control. I think this is fine. And even late game, it keeps them from like playing Teferi with a time wipe, you know, or Kaya's Wrath Teferi, you know, Kaya's Wrath Sorin, whatever the combo is going to be. I really think that this card is going to be a really important sideboard card for any creature heavy deck that's playing white. So I think this is going to be really strong, and yeah, we'll see how the boards look, but I feel like this is going to be a really important sideboard card going into this next format. Alright, Fairy Guide Mother. Another adventure card. Let's go ahead and look at that first. Gift of the Fae, 1 and a white. For a sorcery adventure, target creature gets +2/+1 and gains flying at sorcery speed. Yeah, that's not asking to get killed in response at all, is it? No, not at all. Okay. I don't like that adventure at all. This is actually interesting, though, because most adventures, from what I've seen, and we'll look at this as we go through the sets, and the colors of the set, I mean, is that the adventure is typically less than the creature. In this case, I see it's reversed. So you can just play this, which I think might be better as a 1 mana 1/1 flyer. If you're going to put it in the flyer deck, because I know that lost some pieces. But this might be okay. I don't know if it's going to be good enough. My inkling is to say no. But again, this adventure probably not going to be strong enough to do anything relevant, especially with Rally of Wings in the format already. And I don't know that this 1 mana 1/1 creature is going to be enough. So we're going to give that a limited only rating. Alright, Flutter Fox, 1 and a white for a fox. And it's a 2/2. As long as you control an artifact or enchantment, Flutter Fox has flying. Flutter Fox. The dragon agreed. Whoops. This has no playability outside of limited. Just move on. This card is for the flavor text alone, and it's fantastic, and the artwork is great. But for a card, it's not even relevant to talk about. Alright, Fortifying Provisions, 3 mana, 2 and a white, enchantment. Creatures you control get 0/0/1. When Fortifying Provisions enters the battlefield, create a food token. Alright. I don't foresee this being relevant. Even in limited, I think it's got minimal usage. Excuse me. Alright. I don't see this being relevant in standard in any way, shape, or form. So let's just go ahead and move on. Giant Killer. Here we go. 1 white. It is a rare. Okay, again, the adventure cost is more than the creature cost. So let's take a look and see what we have. 1 mana creature for a 1/2, and it has an ability 1 and a white, tap target creature. Well, 1 and a white, tap this, tap target creature. Okay. And then the chop down adventure is an instant. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. I actually really like that. That's really good. There's a premium on removal right now, with standard being the smallest it's been in a long time. I believe we have, what, 4 or 5 sets? And this is going to be really good. I think this is going to be a good removal card. The creature side, not so much, but I mean, it is what it is. I think that removal spell is reasonable. We'll see how it goes. I'll give that a C or a D, honestly. It's not going to be in too many decks, but I think it's premium in the color that it's in. Alright, Glass Casket, Artifact, 1 and a white, uncommon, great artwork. When Glass Casket enters the battlefield, exile target creature and opponent controls with converted mana cost 3 or less until Glass Casket leaves the battlefield, and then they get the creature back, obviously. I like it. It's okay. I think it's going to be really good in limited. I don't know that it's going to be anything outside of that. I just don't think it is. Happily Ever After, 3 mana enchantment. Rare. When Happily Ever After enters the battlefield, each player gains 5 life and draws a card? Okay. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 5 colors among permanents you control, there are 6 or more card types among permanents you control and or cards in your graveyard, and your life total is greater than or equal to your starting life total, you win the game. Wow. Okay. I mean, that's just fun. I don't know that it's good enough to be in standard, but I'm sure someone will try to make a deck out of it. It could be in like the Niv Mizzet Reborn deck if that's still around. I don't know if it's going to be, but yeah, this is a fun card. In terms of fun, I give it a high rating. In terms of actual standard playability, I'm gonna say probably not, but we'll see how it goes. This is one of the cards that I've been looking forward to the most. Harmonious Archon. It's 6 mana, 2 white, 4 colorless, 4/5 flyer. Non-Archon creatures have base power and toughness 3/3. When Harmonious Archon enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 white human creature tokens, which then become 3/3s. So, I mean, really good upside there. You're getting 9 points worth of stats here. And you're getting 3, 6, 9, 12 points of stats, obviously, with the 2 1/1 humans that enter with it as well. So, I mean, that's extremely strong. You're getting 12, you're getting over 20 stats worth of creature for 6 mana. And it's a continuous effect. So it's not like you're losing out on things that come into play after this, right? If your opponent plays something or you play something, it's still going to be a 3/3. Assuming it's a non-Archon. So, I like this card. I want to see what can be done with it. I don't know how good it's going to be, but I really like the potential of this card. I think there's some great stuff you could possibly do with it. Probably just an average card, though, in terms of power. I think it's probably going to be a C card. Just right in the middle. I don't think it's going to be overpowering or anything. We'll see. Alright, Hushbringer, another really interesting card. I love the artwork on this card. It's crazy. Alright, 1 and a white, creature, fairy. Flying lifelink is a 1/2. Creatures entering the battlefield or dying don't cause abilities to trigger. That second half of that line is super important. So, I really like this as a sideboard card, sideboard option. I don't think you're going to main deck it anywhere, obviously. But this could be a potentially very big and important sideboard card. And that's my thoughts on it. I think that's exactly where it's going to fall. And, having the Honor Guard type, I would say buffed Honor Guard ability to negate the ETB triggers and dying triggers. So, like, imagine you play this and kill a Cavalier of Thorns, right? That is huge to not get a Cavalier trigger off this. It's absolutely insane. So, I mean, again, it's going to be a sideboard card, but I think played correctly out of the sideboard, you can deal a lot of damage to decks that really don't want to work around a card like this. Alright, Knight of the Keep. 3 mana, 2 and a white for a 3/2 human knight. We're going to give that a limited rating and move on. Alright, Linden, the Steadfast Queen. Triple white, 3/3 human noble. Legendary, obviously. Vigilance. Whenever a white creature you control attacks, gain a life. Okay. I mean, white weenie deck, sure. That's about all it's good for. Oh man, how are we going to do this whole review if I'm already this tired? It's crazy. Alright. But yeah, white weenie deck could be really strong. We'll kind of see how the set plays out, but I don't know that white weenie is going to be enough. So this card, I'm feeling like is kind of off kilter right now. I don't think it's going to be enough to do anything with. But another set comes out, and we'll see what kind of white creatures it has. Lonesome Unicorn, 5 mana, 4 and a white, 3/3 vigilance. Limited in terms of the creature power there. But we do have the Sorcery Adventure Rider in Need. 2 and a white. Create a 2/2 knight creature token with vigilance. 3 mana, you get 1/2/2 with vigilance. Who misses History of Benalia now? Like, 3 mana, I got 2 2/2s and pumped him over 3 turns. Like, that was crazy. This is not anything good, limited, and even then, not really that great. Mysterious Pathlighter. 2 and a white for a 2/2 flying fairy. Each creature you control that has an adventure enters the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter on it. Okay, that's not terrible. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I think it's off cost just for a 3 mana 2/2 flyer. And I don't think it's going to have enough to be standard playable. I just don't think that 1/1 counter is going to matter. I think this is a limited only card. I really don't foresee this being in standard at all. Alright, Outflank. 1 white instant. Outflank deals damage to target attacking or blocking creature equal to the number of creatures you control. Okay. So a nice removal spell here for white weenie. Outflank is going to do really well with Linden and Circle of Loyalty late game. It's going to be able to dish out tokens, and then for 1 white, you basically shoot whatever you can't deal with. Yeah, no, this card could be good if white weenie ends up being a thing. I don't know that it will, but if it is, this could be very good. Prized Griffin. 5 mana, 3/4 flyer. Let's give that a limited rating and move on because it is not worth discussing. Mysterious Pathlighter. Oh no, that was up there. My bad. Okay. Rally for the Throne. 3 mana instant. Create 2 1/1 white human creature tokens. Alright, it does have Adamant. If at least 3 white mana was spent to cast a spell, you gain 1 life for each creature you control. So here's some token generation. I think Raise the Alarm is still in standard, is it not? I think Raise the Alarm's in standard. So you have that, you have this. I don't know that that's going to be anything relevant, but again, if tokens is a thing, if White Wing is a thing, this could see play. Very, very possible. Alright, we have a Realm Cloaked Giant. Mythic here with an adventure. Interesting. Seven mana. 5 and 2 white. For a 7/7 vigilance. No evasion, no protection. Just a flat 7/7 for 7. Cast Off is the adventure. It's a 5 mana sorcery, 3 and 2 white. Destroy all non-giant creatures. Well, there's that. I mean, there's your 5 mana Wrath effect. That could actually be pretty good. I like this for the 5 mana Wrath, and you can just go into this. You can cast this on 6, this on 7. Like, okay, there you go. That's not actually that bad. I do like the potential of that card, but only for the sorcery. I don't like it for the creature. I love it for the sorcery. But again, we're going to have to see what else is out there. But this card could potentially show some promise, at least for the sorcery adventure side. Alright, Righteousness, dude. Slicing that dragon. Look out. 1 white. Target blocking creature gets +7/+7. Oh boy. Okay. Limited. That's what we're going to say. Limited. And move on. Shepherd of the Flock. 2 mana, 1 and a white for a 3/1 creature. And it does have the adventure of Usher to Safety. Instant, return target permanent you control to its owner's hand. So just a bounce spell for your own stuff. Gets it out of harm's way, I guess. Limited, really I don't see this being relevant in standard in any way. But yeah, limited. Shining Armor, 1 and a white flash artifact equipment. Okay. When Shining Armor enters the battlefield, attach it to a knight you control. Okay, so it's instant and immediate for free. Equipped creature gets +0/+2 and has vigilance. That's interesting. So you could do this on removal spell that's burn. You could do this on a potential trade that your opponent's trying to line up. Flash this in. Kick up the defense. Get it for free. Yeah, it's not bad. Really good for limited. If you do mono white knights or black white knights, maybe this is a thing. We'll see. But I don't think it's good enough to be in standard. But, I've seen crazier things. Silver Flame Ritual. 3 and a white sorcery. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Alright, the Adamant's not that bad. 3 white mana. Creatures you control gain vigilance until EOT. Again, if White Weenie or tokens is somehow a thing, and so far I have not seen anything to make me think that it's going to be a relevant thing, this card has potential. But we'll see. As of right now, I don't think so. Silver Flame Squire. 1 and a white for a 2/1 human soldier. Instant adventure. Target creature gets +2/+2 till end of turn. Untap it. Good surprise blocker there for 3. But I don't think this card's relevant for standard in any way, shape, or form. So we're just going to say it's for limited and move on. Alright, here we go. The first of these 5 mana cycle. Oh, should not have done this right after dinner. Okay. The first of the 5 mana uncommon knights that we're going to see in this set. Sir Alan the Lion's Claw, 3 and 2 white. Legendary creature, obviously human knight. For a 4/4 with first strike. When Sir Alan the Lion's Claw attacks, other creatures you control get +1/+1 till end of turn. Pretty good. Pretty good. Again, if you're looking at a wide board state with these knight tokens, or any kind of tokens, it's going to be very strong because it doesn't limit itself to just knights or something. Like I assumed it might. This is just all other creatures you control. So knights, humans, whatever it's going to be. 1/1 until end of turn when he attacks. Pretty good. That's honestly better than I was going to give it credit for out of the gate. So, Trapped in the Tower, 1 and a white enchantment. Enchant creature without flying. Enchanted creature can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. Okay. Limited, it's great. I don't think it's standard playable, but limited is great. True Love's Kiss. 2 and 2 white. Instant. Exile target artifact or enchantment, draw a card. That is what we call a money sideboard card. An absolute money sideboard card. That's going to be strong. And if I'm not mistaken, we are going back to Theros in the next set. If I'm not mistaken. So this is going to be most likely a very good card. And we'll see what comes out there. But I think this is going to be strong. Especially with these legendary artifacts coming in. So like things like Circle of Loyalty, and we'll get to it later, but the green artifact that's legendary in that color is absolutely bonkers. In my opinion, it is one of the strongest cards in the set, and we'll get to that later on, but I think if you're in white, this is going to have to be in the sideboard if you're not playing green for enchantment or artifact removal. This is going to be a go-to card for some things. So, Venerable Knight. 1 mana, 1 white for a 2/1 human knight. When it dies, put a 1/1 counter on target knight you control. Okay, play it on turn 1 and hope it doesn't die. Like, that's exactly what it is. Please don't have shock. That's what this card screams. Please don't shock me on turn 1. But, yeah. Now, I could see you playing, like, I don't know, a black 1-cost Vampire Knight, and then playing this on turn 2 seems very logical to me. But, it is what it is, and I'm sure people will figure it out, but I still don't think this is standard playable. So, alright. Worthy Knight. 2 mana, 2/2, 1 and a white for a rare human knight. When you cast a knight spell, create a 1/1 white human creature token. Okay, I can dig it. So again, please don't shock me. Please don't burn me. Please don't poke me with anything. It's going to die very easily. But boy, if this thing gets off the ground and rolling, this could get really scary, especially into a Sir Alan, whatever. That's going to be a lot of damage coming your way if this thing gets off the ground running. But again, I think it's cringeworthy. I'm going to say it's like a D, C, or a D in terms of relevance for standard. I don't think it's going to be great. But we'll see. There's no way to know what's going to happen right now. Youthful Knight. 1 and a white for a 2/1 first strike. Welcome to a limited rating. Good job. But Okay, so I think our strong cards here, a lot of good sideboard cards. We have True Love's Kiss, you know, Sir Alan and Worthy Knight work really well together. They pair nicely. Um, you know, uh, I'm still unsure about this Realm Cloak Giant for the creature side, but I love the sorcery, the adventure side of this. Again, I don't know if tokens is going to be a thing, if you can have enough gas with them, but if you do, you know, you have token generation here. Again, the Sir Alan and the Worthy Knight work very well with anything like that. The Circle of Loyalty, once this gets going, if you have the Knights, you can start pumping those out pretty easily. You get 2/2s for every 4 mana you want to pump every turn. The Acclaimed Contender is also very good for a 3 mana White Knight. I think it's going to be really strong once you start getting into, you know, some kind of Knight-oriented theme deck here. The Charming Prince, okay, we're going to see where he falls. But, you know, I still think this is an average card. I think Circle of Loyalty is probably the best white card. Everything else is kind of situational. But yes, that artifact is by far the strongest card. I think Worthy Knight and, you know, the Legendary Knight, the Lion's Claw is going to be really good. I think True Love's Kiss is going to be a great board card. And I think this is going to get played simply for the 5 mana Wrath effect. So, yeah, we'll see what else is in the set. But right now, I think this for the Wrath is going to be played. And then this is going to be a good board card. This will be a fun brew card. The Archon, we're going to have to see what happens with this, but it has some potential. Again, good board card here just for this side effect here with the 4 or greater power exile. Circle of Loyalty we've already talked about, so good. So yeah, that's kind of white in a nutshell. And we'll revisit this once the set drops and we kind of get a chance to brew with some of the cards. And we'll see if white tokens is a thing or if, you know, mono white aggro can be a thing, but I really don't think it has enough given the current state of Standard. But anyway, that's our first color set review of Throne of Eldraine, and is going to be the first YouTube video. So thank you everyone for checking it out, and don't forget that I am terrible at Magic. I'm just a scrub who enjoys playing the game, and I've been enjoying the game for a long time, so don't judge it too harshly. But, you know, this is just my opinion, and if you want to comment below in the video and let me know your thoughts on what I might have missed with cards or what we didn't talk about, I'd be glad to take a look and go over some of those things with you guys. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.